Hi everyone. We're going to be watching The Walking Dead. Mom here.
Storm here.
Kimmy here.
We're on the finale of season 3.
Wow. Oh boy.
What do you think that means?
Oh, hell's gonna break
That
loose.
sure is.
We didn't see Andrea last time.
No, we didn't.
So that might be a little tidbit there. Or she might have a little tidbit coming up.
Oh no. She's in that wonderful chair.
I know, what kind of chair is that? Like a dentist
yeah,
chair, right?
I
I saw some dentist type instruments
Oh
there.
boy, it's going to be...
Minus the knives.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have a scalpel, but
Yeah,
it's like, where'd he get his stuff from, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
He's from the local doctor's office.
he's very intimidating. He's very monstrous. I
Yeah.
put it
I
lightly.
still say maybe Milton might do him in.
He's going to have like excellent kung fu moves or something that we're not aware of. Because
He
he's
did something, some kind of poison
he might
or something.
snap or something and just say...
Poison darts.
Don't inhale too quickly. Oh, God, I went the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, it was really sad last episode because we did lose Merle.
Oh, yeah.
That was so sad.
And Daryl was devastated by...
Yes, and he
do.
did want him. Yeah.
You know,
Yes, he did.
I don't think we mentioned during the review last time, but Michonne did say in the car to Merle, no one's going to mourn you, not even your brother. And Daryl truly did.
Yes,
He did. He
That's
loved his brother.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
even though they had a tough upbringing and he made some bad decisions, he
That's
loved
right.
Merle.
Brother,
Even
you
up
know?
to Woodbury when he brought him back to the prison.
That's right.
And he kept him at bay, to respect, Rick. But he still had his brother with him.
Yes, he did.
And even though we knew a little bit about Merle, like, I know you guys were not trusting him, which I understand why, but we really saw his inner conflict on not belonging anywhere when he was with Michonne.
That's right.
That's right.
And to
definitely.
release Michonne after all of that, because he was so tough and strong for a while. But mentally, he had his own baggage. He had his own stuff going on. And he knew Rick was going to cave. So for him to take it upon himself to make sure that the original plan is carried through, he took Michonne and he still let her go because she was so good with her words and really got to him.
Yeah, she
was.
made him break down even though, he wasn't like breaking down like stop talking to me, but she got to him and she was freed from it.
Well, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I did feel bad for him at that moment, because he knew it was right. He knew it was true. And he didn't know. He knew that if he went back to the governor and brought her, he knows he's going to kill him.
Well, sure. You can't.
I mean,
he's going to kill her,
Yes, definitely.
And Merle,
he knows he's going to kill
Merle.
Merle because he was a traitor. He lied to him.
That's how he is.
And now you're going to bring her back now after all everything that went down.
Yeah.
It's too late. Too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And he did shoot him in the chest, so that's how he originally died.
Okay.
But to not shoot him in the head, you can tell that the governor, like, either he was trying to, or he was hoping that someone would find him as a zombie or walker, or he just didn't give a crap and just wanted him to slowly die. It was a chest shot, though, so he could have died instantly, but... Yeah, I mean, it was just really sad. The title of last episode was called This Sorrowful Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mainly, I mean, the whole zombie apocalypse sucks, but it's mainly about Merle.
It is.
Right.
That is sad.
Mm-hmm. So on that note, are you guys ready for episode 16?
We're ready.
I think we're ready.
All right, so we're watching 316 on Netflix.
Crazy.
That wasn't Andrea, was it?
We were going to have those biters for our little Michonne hand.
Oh, that's Milton.
Use them.
Oh, yes, eh? Oh, jeez.
It can't be like that anymore.
You're sick.
There's a threat you ended, and you don't feel ashamed about enjoying it. You kill or you die.
What would your daughter think? Did you kill Andrea?
Torturing her next.
She's still alive.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm gonna kill them all. And people are gonna help me. You, get those tools. Pick that up.
Yes.
Oh, boy, I
Give him
tell
some
you.
time. He's never been beat up before like that.
I hope he doesn't, man.
What are you gonna do to her?
Oh, God.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Mountain. There is no way you are leaving this room without doing it.
Oh! Oh!
And you're gonna tear the flesh from her bones.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
crap.
that's-
So we still gonna
Oh,
do
you
it.
are
That's
so sick.
right.
Hopefully someone will get her,
Maybe she can kick him in the head and he die. And she'll sit there. Then she's gotta wait for government.
Girl. I've never seen him this mad. Even with Lori, he just shut down.
He's still a kid.
Just sees her pregnant.
The deal the governor offered about me, you had to think about it.
That's big of her to say that.
No, that's
You could have just taken the formula.
Well, must have been something else then.
They killed 8 men back there. 5 here last time. They're no different to the biters.
You're gonna have to count us out.
You're gonna.
This isn't our
Oh,
fight.
boy.
We'll fight against the biters, not other people.
Oh, boy.
Death by firing
Uh-oh.
squad.
See?
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness. I don't
Thought you were
still
saying
trust
no.
when he says thank you. I don't
She's
know.
like, oh, shoot. Good, they're already gone. This is the governor's
Cheng,
emotions
Cheng,
right
yeah.
now. All right.
Yes.
Oh, you just killed a bunch of walkers. That's great. Wish they had booby traps for them.
Even the father.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
the father.
yeah.
He's all for it.
They're just right in there.
Surprised he's not saying, come out, wherever you are. Road trip. He's gonna see some clues.
Oh, okay, so-
Let's split up. You take a group that way. You bring a group.
I left some pliers on the floor behind you.
How is she gonna get it? Maybe that Sorville's.
Drag.
It's hard because she's got a
Oh,
lift now.
boy.
She might drag it out more.
That you are going to find something very sharp, and you are going to stab me in the head.
Why do you open the door like that?
You only have seconds.
Bill?
It's gonna happen. Don't
Oh,
hesitate.
boy, boy.
Don't. Just wait. Here he comes.
I wanted to save everyone,
Talk and work.
even the governor for a while. But I tried to stop it all another way.
Didn't work.
You need to hurry.
He's right.
What?
Oh, my
Oh, booby
Oh,
traps.
Oh, booby trap. Yeah, I guess so. Hope he gets it.
Excellent. Oh, these guys are so vulnerable.
Oh, no.
Come on, beam him. Beam him.
This is gotta be.
It's not over.
No, it isn't. We did it! I don't trust anything right now.
Oh, no.
gosh.
Drop it.
Come on, drop it.
It's gonna blow you.
See, I don't trust him.
Good. Couldn't trust him.
We should finish it.
It is finished. Didn't you see him hightail it out of here?
They could regroup.
That's just from
Yeah,
the
don't
minute.
come back.
They're right.
Round one.
Took out one of the governor's soldiers.
One of his soldiers? A kid running away?
He said he drew.
He drew. He handed it, but he didn't drop
Carl
it.
said it was in defense.
He gunned that kid down.
He has no reason to lie to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
We need to dig in!
It's not worth it.
That was a slaughter!
Bunch of pussies! Told you we should have handled this shit ourselves.
We're done.
Oh, look at how many.
He's gonna blow.
See?
He's gonna blow
Yeah.
them all
Yeah,
freaking
see?
away. He's gone. Bye bye.
See?
Bam.
All right.
Don't breathe. Don't breathe. Ross, you okay?
We're going with him? Oh, God, I went far away. Tyreese, where's Tyreese? He's supposed to be looking for her. Oh, my gosh.
Damn! That blood is so slippery. Yes.
Good, good, good.
Okay, now how are you gonna do it?
Yes. I don't trust.
Here it
He's gonna.
goes.
Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, boy.
Herschel told me about the boy you shot.
He had a gun.
Was he handing it over?
I did what I had to do. Now go.
Wow. Taking the law in his own hands.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, I've got a pretty knitted hat.
Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, got a nice truck out of it.
Sick.
Flipping God.
Oh, boy. Oh.
It's gonna be any second.
Yes.
There he is.
Oh, boy. You better get out there quickly.
That's motivation
Please,
for you.
yeah.
Jeez.
Oh,
He's already using his jaw. Poke him in the eye.
Oh, my God. It's Tyreese.
Who's got the scoop on him?
Where's the governor?
He fired on everyone! He killed them all!
And
I
he's
see.
coming to get you, baby. Dale's not liking
Yeah,
this.
he's like,
He's doing it reluctantly.
Karen told us Andrea hopped the wall, going through the prison. She never made it.
Andrea, you gotta be alive.
She got bit. Oh, she got bit.
She did.
Son of a bitch.
It's good you found them. I can do it myself.
No.
No, I have to. I know how the safety works.
Wow. What a turn of events here.
Yeah.
She's gone. He's not seeing her.
No, he's not.
Across.
The melody is just so
Andrea.
beautiful.
Yeah, that was God.
What was that, Mom?
I said goodbye, Andrea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad. Yeah.
And Milton, you know, he knew what he was going to get into when he came back. He knew the governor was going to kill him.
I wish that governor was dead. She's still out there. It's crazy.
I know. It makes you hate him more and more,
More
with
and
how
more.
evil he is.
And they left with him. The guys left with him. They
Well,
had guns.
they were scared of him. They
Yeah,
were
but
scared.
come on. He
You
had
know,
guns and so
they're
he
loyal.
just did. Well, you know, We got to sink in, Gee, maybe we should do him in.
I know. I kept looking at the times and opportunities they had to shoot back.
Yeah.
But when you're in, no one is a natural killer here. They're all surviving. And okay, a lot have killed, but there's a lot there that didn't, and they were just massacred.
And they were made. They had to do it. He just said, okay, if you're whatever age, you're gonna, fight those guys in the prison.
Yeah, so they were just like in utter shock, but there were like so many times where I was shoot. And even that guy, the father of the kid that died previously when Merle shot him instead of the governor because he got in the way, like even with him, it's like a standoff and he's scared and he's aiming his gun first at the governor, and here he has no fear and he even tilts his head like, this is interesting. You think you're gonna like kill me?
Right,
and he could have if he actually hit the trigger.
He could have, but he had more respect for him than the governor had of him. So
I think he was just scared. I don't think he was
scared, and he was just I'm gonna he thought I'm threatening him now, so he's gonna do what I say. No, he's not gonna do what you say.
Oh gosh,
he's gonna eliminate you.
Yeah, he was just scared because if he wanted to dominate the governor, he would have probably said something instead of just point his gun. I think he was just completely lost.
He was lost, and
his gun he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, and I think the two guys that did leave with him are the most lethal and the most loyal.
Yeah, I guess so. They must be.
The guys.
They saw what he did, but they went with him. So.
They looked utterly shocked.
They were shocked,
but they still went with him.
I feel that especially that one guy has I forget his name, but he's always with him. Mm-hmm. He is so loyal to him. I think he was just like, I can't do anything to him. I'm just going to stay with him, and he knows best, kind of thing. And he doesn't. He's a loose cannon.
That's right.
It's really bad. Again, you're in a different world and you're trying to survive, and here you have this leader for so long that you relied on, you trusted, and when you see him turn at his worst moment, and it's a really bad moment, it's hard for some to be like, not some, I'm sure for a lot of people, because you just saw this guy that protected you for so long, and you've seen him do bad things before, but this is way over anything else they've seen.
Oh yeah, and he couldn't kill Tyreese and his sister right then because he couldn't be so brutal right off the bat before they even took off.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that's showing that if you say no to me now, I'm going to kill you, and everyone's going to be in a panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
So when he did it after the fact, after the prison, he had no problem because he was just so enraged that, why did you take off? Keep going. And he was just pissed off. He just couldn't control himself.
Yeah, even him containing himself or restraining himself, and he's like, "Thank you." And he gave the gun to Tyreese.
I know.
It was so terrifying. You wouldn't die.
Damn well he's going to
audience.
Be when they get back.
He's completely lost. That guy is just so crazy now. He's just a monster. What's a worse word for that? Because he's worse than that. He's just an evil, evil man. And here, thank you. I'm gonna kill you with my eyes and my breath. But
and even with Milton, I thought when he said, "I'm going to give you an upgrade," I thought it was that he's going to make him fight for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when I said, "No, he's just going to make him a walker," after after Milton said, "No, I can't do it," and I'm going to stab you. And Andrea was amazing. Him and Milton and Andrea just worked so well, but I just couldn't stand the moments and the seconds ticking by where she could have released herself and tried to, at least grab the pliers for crying out loud. Just ask him, "Oh, are you alive?" and still keep working at it.
I said, "Oh my God."
I know.
And that was my thing too. First watching this, I kept freaking out, and I'm like, "Come on, Andrea, you got it for yourself. Stop pausing. You got to go." But I'm trying to see it for that moment where she's not a killer. She survives out there, but she really wants to help people, and she really cared for Milton. They were friends conspiring against the governor.
Be okay.
And she just felt so bad, even though she probably knew he wasn't going to be, but she was trying to be positive, and she was having moments where she would just stop and watch him, and I think it was because she had a friend dying in front of her.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, come on!
That's right.
Yeah, and poor Milton. I felt so bad for him. I
yes.
mean, right away, right as this episode started, we didn't even see any before interaction of the governor like starting to punch him or something. He was already torturing him and beating the crap out of him right from the start, which again was heavily implied, which we know for a fact now that he did burn those walkers. And you're right, like Milton isn't a violent person, like and he took those punches though. He wasn't cowering. He wasn't like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, stop, and to actually turn that knife back at the governor. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of physical strength because he's not a fighter.
I thought the governor got it. That's why I was saying.
Yeah, I know. At least one stab. That would have been great if he got one stab in, right? Just
one
something.
Little star in Milton's name.
Yeah, and the fact that Milton, when he's slowly dying, I mean, how painful is that? He knows he's dying. He's still aware,
Yes, he is.
And for him to not, like, cry about it and to talk to Andrea and be like, you have to hurry.
Yes,
like,
he's giving her...
to motivate her.
Yes, he's
And
giving her
even tell her
encouragement.
about the pliers. Like, the pliers I
Isn't that
dropped
cute?
behind
Yeah.
you. And it's just... he said everything in his last breaths, to make sure that she would survive. And unfortunately, like, I know, rhetorical, like, I know how you guys felt. Like, you were shocked. You thought she was going to survive that.
Yeah,
I thought she
so,
was.
definitely.
I didn't think she was going to get bit. But it would make sense. It was on her left side. That's the first side that she freed herself from.
That's
so she
right.
was probably, trying to free herself on the right, and he just bit her.
Came over, yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's a terrible way to go. Andrea did save so many lives,
she
did. Good for
She
her.
really tried.
We were upset with her for not killing him when he was sleeping. I mean, that was the premium time to do that. In hindsight, of course, but she did save many people coming back, and
Michonne was with her at the end.
Oh, poor Michonne!
It was so moving. It was so.
Because they were close for a long time.
Yeah, they
during
were
the whole winter.
They were good friends. I mean, she really stuck by her through thick and thin. And Andrea was very sick when we met Michonne for the first time, and she was really taking care of Andrea so well. And
I mean, you never want anyone to die,
Yeah.
but Andrea, like. I really did feel bad for her in that moment because it was frustrating with her really trying to get out and then she dies anyways. I really wanted her to go back to her family because she's been separated all this time and just with this evil man this entire time trying to make peace.
That's right.
And like how terrible is that? Like all she wanted to do is just be with her family, but she needed to make peace first. She was hoping to do that, and you need people like that who really want to try to mediate, to find something. But you just had you had one evil guy you couldn't control. Like he just was so dark that after his daughter was killed, even though she was already dead, any humanity he had left was just gone. And there was no compromising. There was no
he was
finding some neutral ground.
There was no getting him back. Nothing,
so
nothing would change his mind.
Yeah, and as we know, when you're bit, you're done. Unless, as we found out with Herschel, you cut off a limb. You could possibly survive if you do it fast enough. Yeah. Now, it's such a crazy concept to think that you have this already in you, like once you die, you don't have to be, everyone's already infected. So if you die, you're going to turn. So, Milton, Andrea, they already have this stuff in them, whatever it is, and then once he turned, he's infected, then he bites her and now she's infected, even though she's, it's just a crazy concept and it's just so quick on how it happened. And so I'm very sad. Rewatching this with you, it just it brings back a lot. I'm like, wow, it's just she's been given a bad hand, and in hindsight, it's easy for us to like look in because I know a lot of fans don't like Andrea because of all the decisions she made, but actually looking back, it's easier to judge someone from afar. And I know it's a show, but like we're judging someone outside looking in, and we, like now you have an idea of like, okay, well, look how bad the governor is. Look what he's done so far. And why didn't you kill him? You would have saved more people that way if you killed him before. But it's a lot easier said until you're in her shoes and trying to take care of all of that, because she hasn't killed anyone in their sleep like that, like an innocent person.
And she thought she would have influence on him. She thought she can change him. She was appalled by the Saturday night, show that they would do. And, she was just like slowly learning about him. And
yeah, and she's
at
trying
that
to
point,
listen to
she
all
is.
sides.
And I
Like,
kind of thought that she was realizing that she loved him. That's why she didn't kill him too. That at that moment in the bed, but you know, she was just trying to not have as many people die as you know she thought was going to die, and unfortunately he killed his own, you know, Woodburyans. I mean, and how ironic is it? Like, there's nobody there. Like, when he goes back there, there's not going to be anybody there.
Yeah, that's right.
And how awesome is that?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and he's going to see that Andrea got her ass out of there, and she fought. You know, she fought for her life trying to get out, and you know, and she killed herself. That gave her self dignity. So that's another slap in the face for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he only has 2 guys that we know of.
Yeah, I think that's
because
about
everybody was with him.
Mm-hmm. And how crazy is it now that all these Woodburyans will say, like, are now at the prison?
That's right. Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah,
that's
right.
It's just
else,
unbelievable. And they're all the people that are the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the elderly, the women, the kids. So
that's right. Yeah.
That's a downside for our group because, you know, unfortunately, this is the real life. This is not Woodbury. This is real life.
That's right.
Yeah. At least they'll get a big dose of that. And they'll be grateful, and they will want to help, and they will, you know, want to help fight in any way they can.
I thought it was pretty amazing to see at the end with all of them together, because I thought even in this moment I was like, who knew that you have this close-knit group, their family, just surviving on this prison or at this prison, and you know, and now they have so many more numbers. They have so many more people that they're taking care of, you know, and they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So that was huge to see, like, oh, humanity, there is still hope.
And you saw Herschel's face. He was just so happy and just greeting everyone coming in. Almost like a preacher would, you know, having people coming into our church. Yes. And I loved how he highlighted that one passage.
And I was going to make a joke, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. And I'm like, where'd he get the highlighter? And that's like break the moment. But no, that was really cool, because you know that the governor's going to be looking through everything. And he's going to find the Bible there. So to have that highlighted, like, that was just perfect, you know. Yeah. But going to Carl now, like, what do you think about that? Like, what he did?
I think it was very wrong. I think he just doesn't trust anyone.
No,
and Herschel saw that, and he called him out, and he told his father.
Good thing he did.
And you know, Rick really respects Herschel's, you know, his opinion, and and Herschel knows what he saw. I mean, he was handing it over, but he didn't drop it.
That's right.
If he dropped it, I think he would have been all right. But he was almost like challenging this kid, you know. The guy doesn't know him.
There's 2 kids.
He doesn't know how awesome Carl is with a gun. But he was almost challenging him, like, oh, yeah, here you go. Like, so I kind of felt like Carl should do it. But then I was like, no, he was giving it up.
Yeah.
And he just went, there was no... there was like no hesitation. He was done.
So what do you think, May? You thought it was wrong of Carl to do that, or do you think
I thought it was wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard.
It's hard, you know.
It is hard because
like you don't know
in his viewing, you know, like he named to his dad,
That's
like
right.
if you didn't do away with him, Mom would still be alive. Like he gave all these scenarios of if you didn't, you know, take care of it, and you know, we wouldn't have lost so many people, but. So I think that's what he's doing.
Hard, you know, it's hard.
But again, like, what is right? Like, I think it was wrong, but at the same time, like, we've seen so many bad things that, you know, and he's really living that too, exactly with Dale and, you know, everything else that he mentioned that, you know, it just takes one incident and you can't trust anymore. But if you live like that, you're going to be alone eventually.
Yeah.
So, and he's so young still. I mean, he's really skilled with his gun and he is a survivor, but mentally, like, is this a bad thing? I don't know.
Right. And, you know, his young life, he's seen so much death and he's seen so many scenarios like that. I totally understand where he's coming from, but he kind of should have just waited another second if the guy moved and, you know, if he did anything wrong. He probably said, well, maybe he has another gun under his jacket. He doesn't know.
Yeah, and that again is the hard thing, because then you had Randall, and he was an outsider, and he was with the bad group that was shooting at him.
Yep.
So here you have another member
outsider.
that was shooting at them and trying to kill them, and so even if he gave his gun up, I would still think, okay, well, he's probably going to try to get to us later too. He hates us. He's trying to kill us. Like, it's really hard.
It is hard, and he was protecting the most vulnerable of his group. He had the baby. And he had Herschel there.
And Beth was there too.
And Beth was there too, but he felt that he was protecting them.
Yeah.
Beth is always with the baby. So, I mean, he has the most vulnerable family members there. So, that's another layer that you have to think about. So,
and I love having Herschel there, because he is, I want to say level-headed, absolutely, but he's very compassionate still, and he's like, he goes, there's other options. And again, it's hard. I agree more with Herschel, but honestly, of everything they've been through, it's just hard to really decide what's right
difficult,
or not.
Right. But I also feel like if the guy jerked, even Herschel's got a gun on him. Herschel could have, shot him too. But, nope.
Well, I'm glad Rick talked to Carl after he said that.
And he was in disbelief. He didn't believe Herschel at first. No, he was protecting. He was. Not,
it was like more. He needed more confirmation. To be like, no, Rick, he did do this. But with Rick talking to his son at the end, like, he actually got in his level, and it was like an adult conversation. And he's like, no. He goes, was he giving you the gun? Was he giving up? Kind of thing. And he's like, well, I couldn't be trusted. So, did you notice how Carl responded to the newcomers at the end? Like, he was kind of surprised and like, what the heck?
I think it's really good for him, because his father is showing him that just because they were the enemy doesn't mean they wanted to be the enemy. They didn't understand what their leader was like. They didn't understand it. And, we have to give these people a chance, because they're not going to survive with their leader.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that here and there, and even with Merle, like, we didn't trust him for a while, but, he was, he's different, though, because here you have the elderly kids and women who haven't been fighting for the governor. They haven't seen anything terrible, but, Merle trying to just survive, and he was always the outsider. He kind of made himself the outsider, and, but everyone has a story, and it doesn't mean that they're, like, they have a reason. Some do, have a reason on why they do things, and it doesn't mean that, like, they're an awful person.
He made it so believable. It just looked like, it's just, looked like, anywhere USA 1950s, everyone's just happy-go-lucky, having lemonade, and just, it was a beautiful town, and it was just all facade. Woodbury was just all facade, and these people didn't know, and the governor took him in, and he was a great leader in their eyes.
And again, we talked about that briefly before, but it shows you in everyday life too. Ignorance is bliss. Like, there's so many things that we don't know.
And Andrea wanted that. Andrea wanted that in the beginning, right? And Michonne knew. She's like, no, this is not what you're thinking this is.
I know. It just looked really nice on the outside. Right?
Michonne was right.
Yeah. So very sad.
Michonne, it was a great conversation going to Michonne and Rick, how, she thanked him.
Yes,
she was very thankful.
Very good,
yeah. To be that open, because she almost died, and if she was handed to the governor, like, she would have been tortured. Like Merle said, her eyes probably would have been pulled out. All these nasty, cruel things would have been done to her. And the fact that Rick almost did that, even knowing that, because Merle told him, like, that's a lot for her to be like, I get it. And not only just mature, that's like godly. I don't know. That's like huge to be
really
like, I totally get.
Yeah.
That you needed to do what you needed to do. You wanted to protect your own, and then she's like, or he's like, well, you're one of us. So
that's right. That's good.
So that was really cool of her to say that, and for them to have that respect.
And it was kind of funny too with the baby formula. Oh, you could have killed, you could have got the baby formula.
I know, they're kind of like challenging each other in a way.
Cute,
where he's like, well, if you didn't have the formula, then I wouldn't have brought you in. It was only because of the formula. And she's like, well, you could have just taken it.
That's right.
So he's like, I didn't really think of that. So
because there was something else. So
oh my god.
Yeah. So finish season 3. We're going to go on to season 4 next.
Ready?
Buckle your seatbelts.
See the governor.
Oh, of course we are.
I am.
He's just going to be like some kind of caveman, like all dirty, like clumps of mud and twigs, looking like a crazy man. I'm just a bush. Like the wild man in the woods. That's not funny because he's terrifying. But
he's a wild man now.
We can make it like a cartoon moment or a Family Guy moment or something. There he is again.
A bush with
crazy.
Release
the governor to kill all the walkers. Yeah, no, he's. It's scarier that he's on the loose and they don't know where he is. That's awful.
The only good thing is there's only 2 guys with him.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing. I don't
He's
think
gonna
there's any other guys.
That's,
right.
We will see. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out the next episode early, you can check it out in the links below on our Patreon.
That's right.
And we'll see you very soon as always. Bye guys.
Bye. Subscribe.
That's right. Thumbs up.